Hey guys, welcome back to RT2. So finally time to take a break from some Let's Play stuff, even though I do have one in the works that'll be coming out soon. If you guys already follow the Discord server, you guys have already seen the poll I put up. I talked about this in the main channel update, but it's time to do a bit of a setup update because I don't think I've done one in quite a while here. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of returning faces to the setup. So let's get into it right away. So first off, this has been kind of something that I've been seeing a lot. There's a lot of comments on the installing Windows on the Mac Pro 5.1 video back in the day. It's been getting lots of comments with remaking the video. That's the first thing I want to point out is I haven't really commented on it yet, even though this happened months ago now. The Mac Pro's gone. I mean, it has been gone for quite a while now. It's in its new home. The guy who owns it now, who bought it from me, seems to be really enjoying it. He sent me occasional updates. I haven't heard from him in a couple months, but the last I heard, the computer was doing really well, and seems to be doing fine. He's built it far more than I did when I had it. Most people know the only upgrade I really did to it was I put a X5680 in it, as well as my RX 580, which is now in this guy, which I'll get to in a minute because we have a lot to talk about that as well. Because the last time y'all saw this was black. So. Anyway, the Mac Pro's been gone, so a lot of people have been asking me to recreate that video in some way. Unfortunately, I don't own that computer anymore, so that's just not going to happen, and I apologize, but I really didn't start seeing comments like that until after this showed up, so, and like right before I sold the computer. So, unfortunately, for those that really wanted that remake of that video, it's just not going to happen. I don't own Mac Pros anymore. I don't plan on buying another one to redo that video because that thing was a lot of money, and with my current automotive situation, if you guys have been following, my truck caught on fire at the end of December, and we've been in the process of rebuilding that. Obviously don't want to go spend $400 to make one video that's not going to get, any money back from it because the channel's only got 60 subscribers. So I hope that makes sense, and I apologize for that. But anyway, let's talk about a new face first before we get into all the usual suspects of the setup stuff. We'll talk about this guy, which is the Type R PC that you guys know about. I built a while back with the help of my friend Michael. We've got the ROG over here and all the other stuff. I pulled out the entire setup today. So, new face is this. So, for those who didn't know, I still actually own this tablet. It's a 2013 Ryzen Ellipsis 7. We got it the same day. We actually used to have two of them in the family, one of which was traded in for an iPad. That is what my dad uses now for his tablet. My sister has an iPad as well, which is how I got the Ellipsis. I kept it for several years, hardly ever really used it, but I recently got into emulation, as you guys have seen with the Gran Turismo 4 Let's Play, and I've been wanting to experiment with Android for a while now. I originally intended to build a Raspberry Pi Android computer to use on my television as like an entertainment center. The problem is that all the Android builds I found for the Raspberry Pi don't support 1080p, which was a bit of a problem for me from wanting to put, stuff like TikTok up on TV for my girlfriend and watching Disney Plus and Hulu and all that stuff. Kind of the same stuff that I do with my Xbox, but adding a bit more functionality and having more apps to choose from than the Xbox, because the Xbox is fairly limited on what apps you can install, and it's kind of slow. And it makes it kind of difficult to, use it as an entertainment center outside of like Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, all that stuff on the Xbox side of things. So I thought building a Android-based Raspberry Pi computer would be really cool. Unfortunately, Raspberry Pis, much like as we've seen with a lot of other technology lately, scalpers, thank you. It's gotten expensive, and Raspberry Pis are no different. They used to be rather inexpensive, and now getting an 8 gig Pi 4 Model B is, over $100 for, finding one. And if you can find one in general, the last few places I've looked, they've been out of stock for a while. So I was sitting there I don't want to spend $100 on something that I'm going to have to buy, extra cables for. I'm going to have to go dig out old peripherals to use and figure all that stuff out, and, have to install Android on it, which isn't necessarily the hardest thing in the world, but it is a bit more difficult than, say installing Windows, which I'll get to in a minute with the ROG. So I was like, you know what? I wonder what kind of tablets I can get for $100. And then I came across Back Market, and this video is not sponsored by them. I just love Back Market and what they do. They're pretty much a refurbished seller. It's like if you take Amazon, but then restricted only refurbished devices that are name brand stuff. It's not like you're getting like the cheap $30 Walmart tablets. You're getting name brand parts and stuff. and they sell anything from headphones, tablets, to phones even. I fully intend on buying a Motorola Razr or a Galaxy Z Flip in the future, and I fully intend to buy it from back market, because so far out of this tablet here, which I haven't even said what it is yet. This is a 2019 Galaxy Tab A. This is the 8-inch model, so it is the weaker of the two Tab A's, but I got this thing for a steal compared to what they sell for brand new. You know, ironically enough, at the time I bought this, Samsung was doing a sale, and that was brand new for only $9 more expensive. But on a usual, normal day where Samsung is selling these on a clearance price, this is probably half value what they would cost normally, especially looking at the 10-inch models. This is only 2 gigs of RAM, but for what I use it for, which is just kind of light emulation and using it for just kind of around the house stuff, you know, checking social medias and stuff like that, if I want to use a bigger screen, I love this thing. And I got it through back market, and I've, you know, fallen in love with it. I mean, it's a great little tablet. I use it all the time. I use it, like I said, mainly for emulation. I will do a full review on this eventually and give my full testimony to back market, because like I said, this thing's great. But that's kind of the new face, is this 2019 Tab A. So first Galaxy in a way is a tablet. And, you know, expanding and getting to learn more about Android, because like I said, I do intend to actually switch from iPhones eventually to an Android device. So let's, with all that out of the way, talk about the Mac being gone. We talked about the Tab A. Let's get into our current lineup of stuff that is currently in rotation here at the house. So first off, we got to talk about the Type R over here, which is my PC I built last year. Technically, it was originally in a black case from Corsair, and I posted the video unboxing this white Cooler Master case. But we actually filmed us swapping the case over, but we lost all the footage because my dumb self actually put the camera in photo time-lapse mode instead of video. I must have tapped a button or something like that, and it changed the settings over. So I had 3,000 pictures instead of a coherent video clip to go through for this, and obviously that wasn't going to work. So I actually lost that video, which is why that video never went live. It wasn't that I never recorded it and we did it. It was that I was an idiot and forgot to record it. So that was kind of the last PC-based purchase I made, was a lot of this stuff that you see here. I've also replaced my keyboard. I've now got the Cooler Master white low pro keyboard here, which I actually love. I wanted a wireless keyboard, but also wanted RGB. Because my Logitech keyboard that I've used prior did not have that. It was just R. So I really wanted RGB, so I wound up picking that up. And I also have an Alienware mouse as well, which I got for Christmas, that is also RGB. And I really wanted to clean out my setup. I'm going for more of like a clean, you know, kind of tearing down wires, going for more of a clean aesthetic with the setup. So I've tried to kind of move away from wires in general. But now, as far as the PC goes, for those who are new, it's a Ryzen 5 3600 on a B450 motherboard from MSI. It's also got my RX 580 that was formerly in my Mac Pro. It's currently one of only 2 parts that carried over, or technically 3 parts that carried over from it, and which are both hard drives as well. It's currently got my 4 terabyte Western Digital Black in there, which has been heavily restricted by Windows. I don't know if this is like a legacy BIOS thing, but I'm only actually able to use 2 terabytes of it, so I'm only able to use half of what that hard drive is rated for. But it also has an extra 1 terabyte, which was the original hard drive that came with my Mac Pro. I wound up taking that out, selling it with no hard drives, cleared that drive out, and wound up, Michael helped me set it up because it originally wasn't playing very nice with this thing, and now I have pretty much a grand total of 5 terabytes of storage on this computer. And I'm fine with it, really. I like how it sits. I don't really have much installed to that other drive, minus some emulation stuff. So, it is a fairly built setup computer. I mean, I really enjoy this thing. It's kind of the bell cow for me right now. I've been trying to keep it clean, you know. I take good care of this computer, unlike other computers I've owned in the past, including my ROG here to my left. I don't install really any nonsense software in here. I really only install stuff I'm actually going to use and that I know I can trust, I know is safe. I run virus scans practically almost every couple of days on this thing. I mean, I am on top of that computer, and I value that computer a lot. It's very special to me, even though it costs a third of what this cost. And actually, technically, only $100 more than the Mac Pro was when I got that. And even then, that came out to probably close to $600, $700 when it was built. So this cost me about $450 to build all together, and I'm fine. I'm perfectly happy with it. Currently, the only thing that I'm going to change with it anytime soon is I need to get with Michael because he actually has my other lighting controller, because it's currently only running one lighting controller, which is why if I include any B-roll shots at all, the water pump as well as the top fans are not lit up. It actually has 2 fans on the top that are not lit up currently because we ran out of spots in the lighting controller. So eventually I'm going to go Michael and we're going to get the other lighting controller installed, and we're going to have the water pump and the top fans back. So it'll have all of its RGB in full power. I think that's it on the Type R. I think I covered everything I need to cover with that. So let's talk about the OG computer that I owned. This is probably by far the computer I've had the longest in my setup, which is my ROG GL553VE. It's a 15-inch laptop. It has got a i7 7700 HQ and a 1050 Ti, so probably on the weaker end of my computers. I know this destroys it, and even the Mac gave this thing a run for its money. Mainly because this thing has just always had a bit of problems. This thing's been problematic, to say the least. I've owned it since I got it brand new in 2017. It was my first big gaming computer I ever owned. And I wanted to build a desktop PC, but I was like, I think at the end of the day, I was like, I need a laptop anyway for school, and I prefer to have that portability of a laptop as well as being able to play games. At the time, this was a really good gaming laptop. Obviously, laptops, just in general, when they're gaming laptops, they age out relatively quickly and they lose their kind of, flagship high performance status, when they age out. This computer really is actually kind of behind nowadays, and I feel like games like Cyberpunk might even run a hard time on it. Granted, I have no intention to play Cyberpunk. I don't really find it a game I'd enjoy. But that's kind of the ROG in a nutshell. It's been problematic. I've been struggling with driver issues forever, and the computer's ran slow. It's been hit with Chromium virus twice. So I decided that it would be in my best interest to just wipe it clean, install Windows over, and start fresh. And that was a good decision. I mean, it's running great now. I haven't gotten to do too much gaming with it ever since then, but I have full intentions on, getting this thing set back up to where I can use it for some portable gaming. I don't really intend to do a lot of emulation with it because that's what I have this for. This kind of already has the majority of systems I want to emulate anyway. I think I'd probably use this for like Dolphin or like PCSX2, like what I have on my desktop. But I don't have any intentions on running, all the other emulators I have, like I have on this. As far as the ROG goes, I don't really have anything planned for it. The plan is just to get it back up and running, and it's kind of just going to serve the same purpose it has ever since I got this, which was just kind of sit in the bag, and if I ever go anywhere where I need to play games on the go, like PC games on the go, say to my girlfriends, we both play Minecraft, we play Stardew Valley and stuff like that, so this is kind of handy to take with me there, so I don't have to, tear this down and, carry my desktop everywhere, because I just find that stupid. But that's kind of my laptops as a whole. Speaking of laptops, I'm going to go grab the MacBook, we'll talk about that. Alright, so, now that I've got my stuff together here. This is, of course, my 2012 MacBook Pro that you guys know I've had for a very long time now. I got it for my 20th birthday, so 2019. And I love this thing. It's been a trooper. I've had barely any issues out of it. It gave me a lot of trouble at first when I put Catalina on this. And I wound up swapping it over to a Samsung SSD and putting Mojave back on it, and it's been great. I don't know exactly if I'm going to patch this to Big Sur just yet. If DOS Dude ever does come out with a Big Sur patcher, I might install it on here. But I have zero intentions right now of running Big Sur. This is pretty much just base model 13-inch MacBook Pro from 2012. So, i5 2nd gen, that's really about it. Just kind of integrated graphics. It is not a very strong computer, guys. The only things that has been like a recent update is I have the service battery indicator on now. So it's like kind of a max check engine light in a way. And that's been something I've had to deal with. It's running fine. I'm not having any problems with it. But I think that that counter, that is like that charge counter that they have internally on Macs, has reached its maximum. This is, I plan on being probably my last Mac product that I'll own. Once this thing is completely done for, I'll probably sell it to a recycler, and then it'll probably, they'll do whatever they want to with it, or scrap all the metal and gold out of it. But right now, it's not going anywhere. I use this primarily for school. It's a workhorse, and it does everything I need it to do perfectly fine. I have no problems out of it. Probably will be the last Apple device I own, because if I do wind up getting the Z Flip or the Razr that I want and replacing my iPhone, this will kind of be my last Apple device I'll ever have. So, perfectly happy with it though. I mean, this was a really good old computer. Again, this was also refurbished. I own a lot of refurbished tech. Fun fact, my tablet's refurbished, my MacBook's refurbished.
The motherboard and the Type R is refurbished. My original set of Bs, I don't actually own those anymore either. Actually, I think I still do. I think they're just kind of chilling somewhere, they're broken, are also refurbished. But MacBook is staying around. I love that computer. I think I knew when I got that thing that the first Mac I'd probably go would be the Pro. This would probably stick around. So perfectly happy with that decision to keep the MacBook lying around. But that is pretty much all of the stuff that's over here. So the ROG's well, our Type R's got its update, MacBook Pro's all set, and got the Tab A covered. Let's talk about the rest of the setup here and all my game consoles, because there's a lot to talk about with all these. Alright, so here we are with all the retro stuff, all the game consoles and stuff like that. Let's talk about all of these. As far as all of them go, the Genesis is still completely not even hooked up. I mean, ever since I moved, I haven't really done anything with this. I mean, it's kind of just sat here. I really should hook this back up. I just need to find the power cable for it, which I'm pretty sure is in this little black box right here, which is where I keep most of my controllers and stuff like that. I've tried to really clean up my act around here with all of my consoles and stuff like that. N64, pretty much all of my SD consoles. So the 64, the NES, and the PS2. The GameCube's actually got the wireless conversion still on it, or not wireless, the HDMI conversion on it from Hyperkin, and that's doing fine. I'm not having any problems out of that. But all the SD consoles, so the 64, the PS2, and the NES, have not actually been hooked up for a while, ever since we moved. Because I'm missing a cable. I need to find the cable to hook my what is it? I can't remember the name of the protocol for it, but this box, which is my, I just tend to refer to as standard def, the red, white, and yellow cables. I need to get one last cable to hook all those up and have those sorted out. Besides that, they're all fine. The NES, last I checked, is still working pretty well after the Booking Light Win install. I'm not having any problems with it, but when it comes down to all the SD stuff, I mean, I've been wanting to upgrade to a next gen, most notably the PS5. So in the future, I may actually do some clearing out and sell some of these to afford that, because, I mean, obviously, emulation's kind of a big deal for me. I don't actually have emulators, so the majority of my retro stuff, I have the PS2 emulators, I have DS and Game Boy and PSP as well, but I don't have NES or N64 or Genesis or GameCube or anything like that yet. So obviously, I don't know exactly emulation-wise. If I downloaded those games, obviously, I'm gonna keep these because obviously, when it comes to legalities, I have a really aggressive moral tolerance. So if I start emulating any of these, I'm keeping the systems. But I have debated, selling, the 64, the Genesis, the Xbox, and the NES, all to put money towards getting a PS5 at some point once, the scalpers stop being douchebags and keep raising the price up to too high. That's kind of my thing for now, is kind of working towards getting all of these hooked back up completely so I can actually use these again, because none of these have ran in the last almost year. So that's kind of the goal for now. But Xbox is doing well. I've kind of restarted rotating it back into rotation again. Using it mainly as a media center, like I've said. I used it if I needed, I actually use the internet browser on that, believe it or not. Crappy version of Edge they put on the Xbox One. I use it for watching Disney Plus and Netflix and all that stuff, because the only thing the Switch has access to, because Nintendo won't play nice with Netflix or Disney, is Hulu. So whenever I want to watch stuff like The Mandalorian, or my girlfriend wanted to rewatch WandaVision, which I haven't actually seen yet, we'll use this guy. But for shows like The Hustler, which is a show that me and my girlfriend watch, we'll watch it on the Switch or on the Xbox, depending on what shows we're planning on watching after. This is my only system that I use to watch HD movies on, so that's kind of important to me, since the PS2 can't really do that. Which I think is I think these two are my only consoles I own that can actually play DVDs. So that's kind of that. The Xbox is going to be sticking around, but it will probably be the first to go if I do decide to get a PS5, because honestly, at that point, really, in all honesty, this thing really does not serve much more of a purpose to me than that. Watching movies and, browsing, Hulu and all that stuff. So, I think that's why I'd be the first to go. If I get a PS5, I'm totally replacing this with it. The PS2 staying, that is that's a shoe-in to stay forever. That's going to be something I'm going to own the rest of my life. And I will fix that. I mean, I will not replace it with another one. Despite I know how cheap these things are getting now. If that one broke, I'm fixing it. Because I love the PS2. I love that specific PS2. I'm very nostalgic over it. It was my very first game console when I was younger, so I have full intentions on keeping it and fixing it in case anything ever happened to it. Because I just value that thing a lot. You know, it's a very special console to me. We'll move on to the GameCube next. The GameCube now has its Famicom GameCube inspired skin on it, which I ordered a while back through Decal Girl. I custom made that actually. I designed that. And I thought it'd be a good sister system to the NWS, which is upstairs, which I won't be covering in this update actually, just remembered it. And I figured it'd be cool to do a Famicom GameCube, and you guys saw already the controller adapter, which I did a video on a while back. And I'm really happy with that. I'm keeping the GameCube. I got it for free, so I don't really think I should get rid of it, and I actually enjoy the GameCube a lot. So that is something that is going to stick around probably forever as well. And last but not least, when it comes to game consoles, we'll cover the Switch. As you guys can see, the Joy-Cons are different. These are actually Sage C800 series GameCube-style Joy-Cons. I got these from my brother for Christmas, and I actually really like these. Like, I have a couple complaints. A lot of people have been hating on these Joy-Cons. I actually really like them. I think they're great. I like the layout. I prefer the GameCube layout. I'm more familiar with it versus the Switch's layout, and I think that that's a lot more comfortable for me. The only things I really complain about is like the latency can be kind of bad sometimes, and it can be a little annoying. So I think that like the rumble feature it doesn't have HD rumble, so it's always like full bore, vibrating your hands off, or it's not at all. So that's really the only things I can really say about the Sage Joy-Cons. And besides, they don't fit in a Joy-Con grip, which is why I've been using my Jungle Green ones so much lately. I do want to get a custom Joy-Con grip made so I can actually use these and be more comfortable. But that is kind of an update on everything in the setup. Hope you all enjoyed this little update tour. I know obviously we didn't cover the Wii at all. Which, the Wii's doing fine. It's been sitting upstairs in our loft. For the first couple months we lived here, it also wasn't like being used at all. So we wound up moving it up to the loft upstairs, which is where our PS4 is and stuff like that. And my brother's GameCube actually is all up there. So they're all in rotation up there. The Wii still gets occasionally used. I got Lego Star Wars Complete Saga on it, so I've been playing through that. The PS4 I don't really cover in setups, and setup updates, but it's fine as well. For those who knew we had one. As well as our PS3. Our PS3 is flawless as well as always. So that's kind of the setup tour. Also didn't cover the ellipsis, so I don't really have any intention to. It doesn't do anything anymore because I have the Tab A. I'm obviously going to use the Tab A instead of the ellipsis. The ellipsis is kind of awful around that, like, you know, at this point. So, but all that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content coming soon here on RT2. New Let's Play will be starting. It's looking like that the polls are not going to get any votes anyway, so we're going to be Let's Playing through Pokemon Platinum. I think with the new Pokemon announcements, we're totally going to play through Platinum again. So stay tuned for that Let's Play coming soon, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys.